give us the evolution of Galaxy basketball and how you got involved.
My big thing, and I hate sharing this because somebody's going to end up doing it. Well, I don't know if they would do it for free.
When we talk about Galaxy basketball, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill AAU basketball that kids sign up for and they pay their $500 fee. Like, you're funding this on your back.
If you love basketball, the opportunities to play end so much sooner for women than it does men.
We can't sit here and act like making money is a bad thing, right? I mean, we do live in a world where we make money.
Welcome back to the closing table with the Funding Fathers. We have a special guest today that I'm going to let Jesse introduce, but I'm Tyler Jenkins.
I'm Chad Paris.
Yeah, Jesse Cronin. Our special guest today is none other than Coach K, Katherine Sutherland.
Welcome.
Coach K is led girls basketball coach teams for how many years?
Oh, since I was 32, so what is that, 25
So like
years
a couple years ago. Yeah,
Let's do some math here real quick.
2-3 years ago.
So obviously coached hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands at this point, 25 years depending on. But yeah, we're super excited to have you tell your story about what you're doing with Galaxy Girls, and you're getting ready to embark on a new journey. In retirement, which is obviously not going to look like most people's retirement because you're going to be busier with what you're doing. So glad to have you at the funding table.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
I'm excited to be here.
Closing table.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
we're glad to have you. And like I said, just want to understand more about your journey as someone that's wanting to coach and develop and mentor kids and coach kids and create better environments for them and give kids a platform that some of these kids don't really have access to much platform. I mean, let's be honest. But they don't just end there. It's about, molding all forms of life into it. So I think we're really excited to have this episode and talk about youth sports. I know Jesse and I had, as being new members of your program with our daughters, really excited to learn more about how it all got started and where that passion came from. So, yeah. So kind of let's just, give us the evolution of Galaxy basketball and how you got involved.
Well, to go all the way back, I first picked up a basketball when I was 11 years old. Had never played before.
You got a nice looking jumper, I'm going to say. I see you shooting practice every night. She does have a nice little J. I ain't going to lie. Not to interrupt, but I wanted to say you've picked up a basketball a time or two. So
I have. But I started at 11 years old and had never played before, but had never met my uncle. But my uncle, Kenny Gerald, was a basketball player here in Louisville, and he played for Austin Peay. And is actually in the Hall of Fame at Austin Peay.
Okay.
And so just had this natural God-given talent. And I started in Deep Springs Elementary intramurals and just started playing. And then I ended up going to Bryan Station Junior. And in between Deep Springs and Bryan Station Junior, and even when I was playing there was nothing outside the season. And so my mom came up with an idea. My father supported it, and they created Dixie Girls Basketball. And just for me, so I would be able to play off season. And we started with just 4 teams, and by the time that we moved from Lexington, there were 16 teams that they had built up to. And I just remember how significant that was for me and all the other girls that played in it. We became friends and everything. And so in order for my basketball skills to get better, I had to play off season. You can't just play in season and get better at anything, basically. And so she did that, and as I've, coached over the years and whatnot, I've always had in the back of my mind, I want to do something like that. But until I was given the opportunity to go back to Mosaic, because I left Mosaic for 3 years teaching and went to Ballard, found out high school was not for me in teaching or coaching. I'll just put no knock on Ballard. Ballard's a great school, great programs, but they were my only 3 losing seasons of my life, including as a player. Like, I've been very blessed with the teams that I've been a part of and whatnot. And so when I left Ballard and went back to Mosaic, luckily enough, they created a position for me to come back so I could retire from Mosaic. I started working on an idea, a concept. I want to start a program. I'm just going to do it. And I was sitting literally during my planning at Ballard, and I was going through names and everything, and I was like, I like Galaxy. What else can we do? And then I still have the paper where I wrote down all these little slogans, and then I said, we're future stars, and I was like, learn to shine. And so I wrote it down, and just rowballed from there. I looked up how do I become a nonprofit organization and found a lawyer to do the paperwork. And that's a beautiful story too. Do you mind me telling that one?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was literally just looking through.
What year is this, by the way?
2023.
Okay.
2023, spring of 2023 and into the summer. And was scrolling through lawyers, nonprofit lawyers' names here in Louisville. And just this one kind of popped out. And you know how I feel about this. There's, everything has a purpose. There's a path for everybody. And this name popped out from me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call. And so I call him and we start talking and he goes, my daughter plays basketball. This is kind of a cool idea. So he says, it's going to be about $3,000 for me to do all the paperwork, but I can get you set up, no problem. And so I'm like, okay, I can do that. And so I had $3,000 for my savings and I went to the office, and the office was downtown Louisville. And I have never been this high in Louisville, and I got a little queasy going up the elevator. I was like, this is high. I come off the elevator, and have you all ever watched Suits, the show Suits?
Love Suits.
I felt like I was on Suits. Glass doors open. A lady met me. Would you like some, Perrier water? And I'm like, this is way too fancy.
You're like,
for
wait
me.
a second.
Wait, what have I gone into? She puts me in this room the walls are all glass, and she goes, they'll be with you in just a moment. And so my heart is racing. I'm like, what have I got myself into? This may be too much for me. And so the lawyer comes in and he sits down with a little girl or a grown girl doing her internship. And he goes, she played at Assumption. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She's a basketball player. And so he sits down and he's got everything. And I have my check and I'm like, I've got everything ready. And he said, well, I met with everybody in the law firm and they love your idea. They love this. And so we have decided that we're going to do this pro bono.
Oh, wow.
I cried. Like I literally just started crying. Sorry, I'm going to get teary-eyed thinking about this because
That's fantastic.
Because $3,000 is a lot to me,
Heck
and I was
yeah.
like, I'm willing to give that to I'm willing to give that to Galaxy, but that allowed me to get the uniforms, to get the basketballs, and things that I needed to start it because I paid for the startup.
Well, and I want to back up just a little bit because when people talk about basketball programs, they think about AAU basketball. They think about what people go and they spend thousands of dollars for their kids to play basketball. Let's talk about what Galaxy basketball is.
Okay.
This is not, guys. So just you're listening to this. We're a couple minutes in, and you're like, oh, it sounds like a great story. It's so much more because. How much do your girls pay to play basketball at Galaxy?
Galaxy is free.
Galaxy is free.
I don't charge the parents for their kids to play in Galaxy, and I don't charge parents to come watch their kids play.
I'm getting goosebumps because you come out and your kids are, they're practicing and they're surrounded by former players who are out there helping. The girls who a lot of these kids may not have ever or may not ever, until their Galaxy days are over, have worn a uniform. Right?
Correct.
We're both blessed. Our kids go to Our Lady of Lourdes and they play for the Lourdes Bearcats and they have uniforms. These are girls that come out, they get to wear uniforms on Saturdays.
Yes.
And so I'm going back because when we talk about Galaxy basketball, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill AAU basketball that, the kids sign up for and they pay their $500 fee. Like, you're funding this on your back.
Correct.
And you're doing these things out of the goodness of your heart. And going back to how this got started, you told me a story about your mom.
Yes.
She was sick.
Yes.
Tell us about that. You were playing basketball.
Okay, you're going to get me crying again.
Well,
It's okay.
People need to hear this, though.
When I was 16 years old, my mom had a massive heart attack, and we found out that she had 4 major arteries in her heart blocked, and so she had quadruple bypass at the age of 39.
Shoot.
And so on the day of her surgery, I went and found a room by myself and I prayed. And I said, God, if you will not take my mom, you can take anything you want from me. And so my mom made it through the surgery, but that year I had a career-ending injury in basketball.
At 16 years old.
At 16 years old, I hurt my ankle and the talus bone popped out of place and I tore both ligaments. And back then in, 1986, they didn't have the surgery to do the quickie fix and whatnot. And so I never was able to play basketball. like I had before, and the doctors literally said, you're done. Like if you play on it again, you could have a limp for the rest of your life. And I just remember thinking, in my mind, this is what I had to lose to keep my mom.
Oh, wow.
So then
16, man.
when my mom passed away at 57, the age I am now, I was literally standing at her casket, and the new principal at Mosaic, I'm going to give him a shout out, Dr. Keith Look, wonderful guy. Like, he came to my retirement game this year. He's just so great. He came to the funeral from Louisville, and my mom is buried in Lawrenceburg. And he came up to me while I was at Mom's casket, and he said, hey, Kate. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, would you like to be the new girls basketball coach at Mosaic? So basketball came back when my mom died.
Oh, wow.
And so I've coached at Mosaic, and I helped with Manual, and I coached over at Ballard. And then, I'm just so blessed that now I have Galaxy.
Yeah.
And basketball will always be in my life now.
Yeah. And, obviously you're given opportunities like we talked about. So let's talk about, obviously that's your why, right? That's why you're doing it. But also it's about your mom, but it's about the girls you're serving. And so, you started this on your own dime. You're at the law firm. They obviously, that's your first gift, right? They're like, hey, we're doing this for free. You talk about, we've talked about this. You talk about washing uniforms.
Yes.
And the hours you spend doing that stuff. Just talk about where you've come from 2023 to now. I mean, obviously you started.
Yeah, we started. Well, I was blessed enough to have the principal at Mosaic and the athletic director, another shout out, Jimmy Dearborn, who is more like a brother because we've taught and coached side by side for the 25 years I've been at Mosaic. Or 22, it's 22 at Mosaic. And they both loved the idea. And so that's another blessing that Mosaic was willing to house Galaxy and allow me to do the rental application and use the facility for practices and games. Yeah. And so we started fall of 2023. And I was literally at backpack events handing out flyers, going, come on, join us. And we had 46 kids, and that's what we had. And it went great. And then we have just grown every single session since. The next one, I think we had like 62, and then 76, and then 84, 94, and this year this spring we're at 130. 130 kids. So it continues to grow, and all 130, we're still playing for free, and I'm still not charging parents. And everybody keeps telling me, because Jimmy Dearborn gets on me all the time, he goes, you should at least ask for $2 per parent. And I'm like, no, nobody gets it. Like when I'm sitting at the table and the girls, and we'll talk about the uniforms, I know I'm all over the place, but when a grandparent comes in with, or an aunt and uncle or a mom that comes in with 5 or 6 little kids to watch the older kid play. And I've had people look at me and go, there's no charge? And I'm like, no. And I've had so many people go, bless you or thank you, because everybody charges so much for kids, parents to be able to just watch their kids play. And parents already give so much, to their kids having clothing, food, gas prices. I mean, when you think about where we are now, and the groceries are so expensive, like the parents are so appreciative of the fact that I'm not charging them $100, $150, to let their kid do cartwheels on the court. Let's be honest, the kindergartens will run around in circles, and there's programs that would charge so much money for those kids to be out there. And I just will refuse to ever take money at the gate from parents and charge them to have their kids play.
Well, you say that, you go to one of these places where they're running leagues, even the Catholic schools. But I mean, you could spend for grandma and grandpa and mom and dad and a couple kids that are in grade school. You could literally spend $20 before you even get to the concession stand.
Dude, I watched one of my mentors. His son is a really high level player in Indy, and he plays like. It's the top tournaments that are around and whatever. And I went up to go watch him play. Yeah, Any guesses on per ticket? I paid for Maggie and I both.
A weekend?
It was, and I had to buy because they don't do like
Saturday only.
Exactly. Because
I would say minimum 40, but I would have guessed $50 and it could be more.
it was $30 a ticket.
Oh, a ticket.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
so 60
goodness.
So I
total.
spent $60 to watch my mentor's son play one basketball game.
Yeah.
Because they didn't sell individual. It was like
Yeah,
it was
you had
all
to
or
buy
nothing.
it's all about extracting
yeah.
as many dollars as they can
Yes,
from
it
every
is.
single person who wants to see someone they care about play the game that they love.
Well, and then each team's paying on top of that. Each team's paying.
It's
a
An
bunch of
entry
fees.
fee. Yes,
thousands,
an entry fee.
thousands.
Yeah, and that's
Just
what
to enter it.
and that's what makes this unique is that it is a community driven. Listen. At the end of the day, yes, we can't sit here and act like making money is a bad thing, right? We do live in a world where we make money, and I'm not saying like in that sense of like you don't ever want to make. You got to make a living down the road on, where it's teaching, school, retirement, whatever you're doing. I think the idea though is that this is such an unusual concept. Like you're crying about it. Like this year I got invited to be, my daughter to go play a part of the program. I'm like astonished to hear that there's no cost. It doesn't. It just doesn't exist. So
Well-
like hearing you say this stuff is like you're saying it's just normal because it's just you're giving so much value back to this community and especially these girls. It's wild. I want you to understand that like he's blown away because he just went and dropped $60
Yeah.
to watch a 60-minute basketball game.
Right. Well, but
They were in 8th grade, by the way, when I watched that game.
in 8th grade, and my whole thing is not only for me. It's not only that it's free for parents and kids, but the quality of the coaching that is happening for that free. Is on next level because, and I'm not knocking because I know there's places that have to pay their electric, have to pay the water, have to do maintenance on their buildings and whatnot. So I'm not knocking somebody that does charge because they have to take care of their business, and I get it. But my thing is also these teams that charge so much. I'm questioning the quality of basketball they're teaching.
100%.
And that's what I've seen because I played AAU when it was actually amateur athletic and you had to try out and you represented your city and then you competed for the Kentucky, right? Because I have a gold medal for winning
Before
Kentucky.
they had Indiana Elite Prime, Indiana Elite Select,
Correct.
Indiana Elite Red, Indiana Elite Gold, Brown, blah,
And they
blah,
all
blah.
are just
And-
representing.
And like, there's really only one team that plays in the Adidas Gauntlet, which is like their actual, like what would have been their AAU team.
Yeah.
And that's a little different because it's sponsored by like Adidas and they pay, but they still have to pay. The teams have to pay, but they give them like the gear and whatever.
Yes.
But to your point, like it's gotten so convoluted because all three of us play for Indiana Elite, but only one of us actually really plays for like the team.
Well, and what
Yes.
it's done is
But our
Yes.
jerseys are all the same. But the teams that aren't the Gauntlet teams do pay for the jerseys, the shoes, the blah, 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 all the stuff. And you know where that money helps fund? The actual team.
Yeah. Yeah. So other kids are paying
know
for
that?
the travel of the team.
Right.
Instead of every,
It's kinda messed up.
and what's so confusing to me is you used to have to try out. And yeah, they have a tryout, but then they end up having an A, B, C, D,
Right.
E, and taking it how many letters down, having these kids play. And then these kids are heartbroken when they go to middle school and don't make their team. But I've played for an AAU.
Travel ball.
I played for Indiana
Yeah.
Elite. I
Club
played
ball,
for
It's
Blue
AAU
Chip.
ball.
I played for
It's more of the title. And,
Right.
and I'll be honest with you, is it the kid that cares about the title or a parent that is like my kid plays for this AAU team?
Oh,
but
90% parent.
is your
I think
kid actually
more than
learning the
not.
skills that they need to be able to be successful in that sport?
Well, you said a second ago about the level of coaching. So Chad and I coach, basketball.
High level.
High level.
High at the
3rd and 4th grade girls, baby.
highest levels
Yeah.
of basketball.
combined-
You're laughing. This dude, I come in the office one day. It's like 6 in the morning. Like we're in there super early. He's like, Mel, come here. I'm thinking we're talking, he's got some loan he wants to talk about, whatever. He's like, look, I drew this up. What do you think? I'm like, for what?
Chad
He's
and
like,
I- Chad
the
and I-
girls. I'm like,
Chad and I are invested in
I'm not gonna
girls.
run that.
We're invested in girls basketball.
So we may take it a little serious, but we.
I love it. It just made me
I love
laugh.
it. I love
We're
it.
serious, and I want to get back to what I was saying. We're serious, but we are doing it because, and for a lot of the same reasons you're doing it. If you teach them young, they learn, they're having fun, they'll continue playing, and what that does for kids later in life is unreal. But back to the level of coaching that they're getting, I'm at Galaxy practice, and it's it's nice. I mean, I love coaching. I'm not going to quit coaching, but I like sitting in the stands knowing that the instruction that the girls are getting on the floor is actually that. They're not just you're joking about cartwheels. Yeah, there's kids that do cartwheels, but those are just kids. But like also I love, because if a coach sees a kid standing in a line, like they'll correct them, get back in line and quit talking, but that's not my point. They're learning. I mean, I'm watching second graders actually taught how to do a correct layup.
Yes.
When I've coached 5th and 6th grade kids who come in 5th and 6th grade, when they get to us, they don't know how to shoot, let alone actually do a layup. So the fact that you all are teaching them, watching, it's been really nice, watching Harper Cronin playing man-to-man defense. It'd blow your mind last week. She's playing man-to-man defense, and she's got a hand on the girl that she's guarding, but she's watching the ball. Like, the instruction that they're getting is so high level. And again, that's great, but really it's about the opportunities that you're giving young girls, like I said, that may not be getting it. So not only are they getting quality instruction, they're getting instruction at all. You know what I mean?
And it's instruction on and off the court.
Yeah.
And that when we met, when the primary first coaches met, we talked about the fact that as women, and I've always coached like this, basketball ends so much sooner. If you love basketball, the opportunities to play end so much sooner for women than it does men.
Yeah.
And so I've always coached with the mindset of, I'm not just preparing them to be good basketball players. I'm preparing them to be good people, to be strong women, to be career-oriented, family-oriented, and understand that all of the rules that apply to basketball applies to life. It's a sport, but it's a sport that I love so much because it is what framed who I am in every aspect of how I do things. From watching Pat Summitt, who's my utter hero. I cried when I heard she had dementia. And I have so many things on Pat Summitt, but watching and listening to her talk about, and she's hard coach. And she yells at those girls, but those girls always knew she loved them.
Oh, absolutely.
And
It's
so for
literally
us,
Coach Davenport. Everyone always says, how could you play for him? All he did is yell, blah, blah. I'm like, because I know I had respect for what he was saying because I know he cares.
yeah,
I don't need to, it doesn't matter how he's saying it. I'm listening to what he's saying.
yes,
And whether I agree or disagree, he's probably right.
yes.
I may not like it in the moment, but I'm telling you, there is nobody in my life who has held me to a higher standard than he has. I would not, sorry, it makes me a little emotional.
That's okay.
I would not be as successful as I am in life as a father, as a husband, as a professional, as a friend, brother, all these things, if he did not hold me to that standard. Because he did that, that's the standard I now have. So if you don't have people like that who see that, sorry, I don't know why I get so emotional every time I talk about it. When you don't have someone in your life who is willing to do that, it's a disservice. And that's a lot of these kids, when you're telling your kids like, oh, buddy, it's okay, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's not okay.
Right.
You're lying to them. And the thing that I loved about Coach D is I said he never lied to me. If I played really well and I did my job, he let me know.
Yeah.
If I played like shit and I wasn't doing my job and I was missing stuff and whatever, not only was he going to tell me in the moment, when we watch film, he's going to tell me every single time.
Yes.
And I have to sit there and just embrace it. Right. But
No one knows with intention.
But it's because
it wasn't because he just wanted to yell at you.
I think the reason I get so emotional is he saw before I could what I was capable of.
The man you were going to be.
Right.
Or should
So
be.
setting that, he's like, I am not going to allow you. I know you're here. I'm never going to allow you to operate below here. Yeah. And if you are, I'm going to tell you so that you understand when you move on from basketball, you have the ability to look yourself in the mirror and go, I'm not being here. Right? I think that's the most important. That's what makes me emotional is like, I've been through a lot of stuff. I had what could have been a career-ending injury. I tore my labrum in my shooting arm, like in my shoulder. Thank God I was able to come back and play that senior year and do all those things. But like that whole process was like if I wouldn't have had somebody like him who was constantly challenging me, I don't think I would have been able to make it through that period of time. You're watching all your brothers compete. This is at the very beginning of the season. It was when we played U of L, the first game, that exhibition game we always play. Yeah. I dove on the floor and Ray Spalding jumped on top of me and I had my hand on the ball and he landed right here.
Oh, wow.
So it just, came out. And that was the very beginning of the season. So I watched in that year, we were preseason number 1. We knew we were going to win a national championship that year. We knew it. We went to the Final Four the year before. We barely lost to the team who won the whole thing. And then the first game, I tear my labrum. And, I'm just beside myself. Like, I just can't believe, like, in a freaking exhibition game of all games, like a game that doesn't even matter, right? Like, yeah. I tear my labrum. Yeah. And I got through it because I had him, I had my brothers, my teammates, but it was hard. I mean, you know what that's like. You're just watching them, and you could go out there and make an impact, but you can't. Yeah, yeah. So you just I coached, basically. I became like an assistant coach because that's all I could do was encourage guys, coach guys. Parker Chitty, who actually works with us now, ironically, he got into the mortgage business too. I recruited him to come to North Point from where he was, but I was basically like his personal
point guard coach,
like mindset point guard coach, because he just like couldn't get out of his own way, but he was so talented. Right. So he eventually figured it out. But so it was cool that I got to do that. Yeah. I left an impact where I could, but sorry, I just.
No, it's okay. I mean,
it makes me emotional.
Well, it goes back to the point of what you're trying to say.
Well,
he's
impacted
me so heavy. And I had other coaches prior to him that were like that were really, really, really hard on me. But the thing that they didn't do well was like balance, like it was just like constant, like it was never good enough. You know what I mean? Like, and I love that Coach D will tell you, like, it's hard to hold that standard all the time. It just is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's having a standard and then actually coaching to get to that standard.
Correct.
Not expecting the standard every time. We're human. We're never going to meet that standard every single time. But
we have to try.
You have to try. And you have to not quit.
Correct.
When you don't hit that standard.
Yes.
And at these young ages, there's a balancing act. There just is. Oh, yeah. And I coached the third grade, the Comets, as you know. And
they're fire.
They're fire. Oh man, they are. I love them to death. But I, told one player, I was like, this is what you're waiting for because we're teaching them how to run out of bounds plays. And she didn't wait. And she just threw it in the opposite direction where I told her. And during the timeout, I said, is that what I told you to do? And she said, no. I said, then why did you do it? And I tell them all the time, if a coach tells you to do something, you do it. If it doesn't work, it's on the coach.
Right.
But when you don't do it, it's on you. And that's harder to live with. It's as a player. Like if you go off of what the coach did and it doesn't work, that's a harder thing to swallow as a player. I should have just done what the coach said. Maybe
you better be right.
Yeah, right. And I've had players do that in the past and they still bring up, I know I should have just shot that, but I didn't. And a true basketball player lives with those moments. They live with those moments. And so, but at the same time, when she played great defense, I was like, good defense. That was awesome. Yeah. And so there's a balancing act between making sure that you're constantly having the girls strive to do the best they can at what they're trying to do, and also knowing when to praise them for the little moments that they do. And I have a little girl who's older than what the Comets are, but she has a motor and a mental disability and tries so hard. But if you could have seen when she first started playing, because a lot of like Mimi, Karaya, Aaliyah, they've been with us since 2023. And so we've gotten to see
3-year head
that
start,
first
yeah.
core
The
group,
progression.
right, progress. And she has though, not to where the other girls have, but she tries so hard. And she has actually scored goals and things like that, and could barely get it up to a 7-foot goal when this little girl started. And it's those moments, and she keeps coming back. You know, and that's the thing is like she could at any moment go, Mom, I never get to do this, or I never do this. But the fact that she comes back is because she loves playing with the girls. She loves being around me and the other Comet coach, Taj Tillman. And she loves the family-oriented feeling that it has.
You know what it
And-
is? You're probably the only person in her life who doesn't see the disability. Like you're coaching her like normal. Like how you coach all the other kids.
Yes.
I guarantee you, it's the only place where you don't look at her like you feel bad. Like you're just, I'm coaching you just like I coach her. I'm telling you the only reason why she keeps showing up.
No, I hadn't thought of that, but that might be the case. That
could
might be
be,
the case. Yeah.
Well, she feels normal.
Yeah, she feels,
She
it's
does.
the only place she feels normal.
Yeah.
And she does. And all the girls just, treat her like there's nothing different. There's nothing different about it. And we have lots of sweet stories like that. Lots
Yeah.
of sweet stories that happen in Galaxy. There, can I tell that last fall?
It's an open. You can tell anything you
Okay.
want to tell.
Well, I got a email right before we started signups.
Oh,
and,
I'm glad you brought this up.
and this will make me cry too, but a mom emailed and said that she had signed her daughters up for Galaxy last fall and they played, and she couldn't believe that it was free because she and her kids were living in the DV shelter across the street from Mosaic. And she was like, I wanted something to help their self-esteem. And she basically said she had no idea what Galaxy would have done when she first signed up, but she said, my kids' self-esteem just exploded because of that Galaxy. And even though we were in this situation, like, and she was like, when are we going to sign up for Galaxy in the spring? When are we going to? And I hadn't seen that from my child in a while because we were in this predicament. And she just said, I can't thank you enough, Galaxy and the coaches of what you've done for our family. And I know you don't know you did that for my family, but I want to let you know you did that for our family.
Cool.
And because we walk around sometimes when you have, and that was a big thing when I file for grants, and I do, my big statement is I don't want anybody to look at the girls and see the haves and the have-nots. And that's why they wear the same jersey and the same shorts. And the only thing that somebody might look as shoes, and that's my next thing, is getting them all the same shoes. Because I grew up a kid, my family did not have money. We used white shoe polish on our shoes until my father got his tax money back, and that's when we got new shoes every year. So I understand the have-nots. And I didn't want Galaxy to ever be, and it will not ever be, a place where somebody can walk in and tell economics on the kids.
And you can't.
And you can't.
I mean, like being there, you can't. I mean, seeing those kids, and you talk about that story, about the little girl you were just telling about, the opportunity that you afforded her, the ability to have a family outside of her family, but the Galaxy family that she's got, she doesn't have that without Galaxy. And so back to, the haves and the have-nots, when you walk in that gym, to your point, are there some kids that have nice shoes? Sure. And I've talked to some of the parents. I think some of that is people saving every penny, tax dollars. They're proud of what their kids putting on.
Yes.
So I don't even know if that's a have and a have not thing. I think it's just some people, are into what their kiddos are wearing. But my point is like you can't. There is no.
No, you
feeling
don't
of
see it at
disparity.
Galaxy. No.
And the fact that you've created that way and you're going to keep it that way. So I mean, we talk about that. Obviously where it's come from, where you are now. Let's talk about what's your vision. Like, obviously, you're 3 years in, right? Mm-hmm. And you're really just getting started because 21 days and 12 hours from now,
I
you are no longer
retire.
a teacher.
Yes.
You're always a teacher, but you're not getting paid by JCPS anymore, at least on payroll.
Well, I am retirement.
Retirement, yeah. Retirement. But you don't have to clock in.
Yeah, I don't have to clock in and out.
So, here we are 3 years in, but really just getting started. What's the future look like? Like, what do you hope to turn Galaxy into?
My big dream, and it always has been since day one, is to eventually have our own facility, because Mosaic is a wonderful place. I love Mosaic. Mosaic is home to me, but I'm kind of stifled on how far I can go because of the time limit. Because there's another basketball program that uses it on Mondays and Tuesdays. So we have Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we can only have it. Trying to get 130 well, I do get 130 girls practices in on Friday between 6 and 8 on 2 courts.
Clockwork too. I mean, it's like
It is.
and they learn.
And that is something that I can't grow any more than I am right now at Mosaic. And so that's a problem. And we also, I want to expand the programs. I want to go up to 8th grade in the fall. The kids
Currently, you're going up to what grade right now?
7th, K
Okay.
through 7th,
Right.
kindergarten through 7th. And the girls, the 7th graders have begged me, please let us play again in the fall. So I'm going to go up to 8th grade. But I know that they're going to continue to ask me to go up and go up and go up. And I can't do that without my own place. And it didn't even have to be a big place, just something that we can do Monday through Friday practices at any time. And my coaches want to do workouts with, they get asked all the
individual
time.
instruction
They get asked
and-
all
yeah.
the time from parents, can you do individual instruction with my kid? And there's just no place. In fact, I had an ex-player text me and go, hey, I'm trying to start some one-on-one things. Do you have a place? Can I use Mosaic? Well, you can't. You have to file a rental application, and you have to get a $1 million insurance policy to use
liability.
the facilities. And so she was like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not. That's too much for me to do, to have a few kids and whatnot. And so I was like, I know. So those are things I want to be able to do. I envision Galaxy being open all weekend and doing all kinds of workouts.
I don't mean to cut you off. You
That's
just
okay.
said something. You talk about these 7th grade girls that want to come back, and I don't want to miss this. And obviously, if I didn't think about it, I'd miss it. It's like a youth group. What I mean when I'm saying that is like when we were kids, we wanted to go because it was our community.
Yes.
And that's what this is. Like my girls, I'm there for Friday nights, I'm there for 2 hours. Thursday nights, I'm there for typically a couple hours.
Saturday, you're there all
All
day.
day. But they love being around the other kids and
Yes.
the siblings and all the things. And so when you talk about that, it's a testament. These kids want to be there. And
Yes.
so back to you saying that, like it will.
Which is
They'll become
rare.
freshmen.
And they're going to keep asking, and I know that's coming. And even like the girls that are in it that played for Mosaic, they were like, wait, Galaxy ends this week. This is our last week coming up, and what am I going to do now? And that's another thing, is that them being in the gym keeps them off phone.
Yeah, from
Keeps them off
phones?
social media,
Yeah.
keeps them off
Just out of
seeing
trouble.
things they shouldn't see.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they see so much. And so I love that they would rather be in the gym. And you've got to keep that spark going. You got to keep it going.
Yeah.
And right now I'm running in between seasons, between middle school seasons, elementary seasons, and whatnot. And I'm getting summer ball. I'm doing some Galaxy teams in summer, and then we got to talk about the Galaxy Jam before I'm done.
we will. Yeah.
But besides the facility, my big thing, and I hate sharing this because somebody's going to end up doing it. Well, I don't know if they would do it for free. I want to do a K through 5th grade free volleyball, Galaxy volleyball, because I think there's enough interest in volleyball with little girls as well. But my goodness, the money that they spend
Oh,
for
volleyball.
volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
It
it's
is triple
extortion.
the amount of basketball.
Yeah, it's
what they
extortion.
spend for volleyball.
Yeah.
And then what I really want is I want to do a girls wheelchair basketball league. And I think we have kids that are unfortunately, and fortunately, because they're wonderful people, disabled, that don't get the opportunities to be active like they should. Like nothing should keep them from playing a sport that they want to play.
Right.
And I think kids in general want to be active. They want to do something. And so my vision for Galaxy is when we do get our own space is to be able to expand and do free volleyball and do free wheelchair girls basketball and have them all be under the Galaxy umbrella and be this huge thing. And I get approached all the time about, why don't you do this for boys? Why don't you do this for boys? And it's not that we're any way, shape, form hating on boys. sports.
There's plenty
But
of places for
There's so
them.
much out there
Yeah,
for
there's
boys.
plenty of places
There's
for
so
them.
much out there for boys. And yes, they charge, but this is a girl thing.
Yeah.
And we have all female coaches and we ref the games. And that's another thing. Galaxy doesn't even keep score because we don't care who wins the games. We just want to see the skills that they've been taught that week of practice used in a game.
You know what's wild too? I'm glad you brought that up. They don't keep score, but every girl walks off that floor.
They know what the score is.
Well, they know the scores.
Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
they
not what I was
think,
going to say.
they think they know.
Every girl walks off that floor feeling like they won.
Oh, I see what you're
Oh,
saying.
that's true. That's true.
They all
I
come
thought
in
you were
at the
gonna
end of
say
the
they keep it.
game. Both teams come together. They break it off. It's wild. I mean, like both
Yeah.
teams, they practice together, so they know what the plays are. But like
It
they're
gives
still
them like a testing ground to try like the stuff that you guys are working on without it being like so high pressure
Competitive.
and
Right,
competitive
right,
because
pressure.
they're keeping the score.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't do that right,
Yeah.
so we didn't
Right.
score. Yeah, that's off the little girls. Now, don't get me wrong. I thought you were going to say those fourth, fifth, sixth,
I
and
know
seventh
that.
graders.
They know.
They try to keep score in their head,
And they know.
And that's not.
No, I was gonna say,
I'm not
I'd-
saying that's a bad thing. What Galaxy doesn't do is because we're going to talk about parents now. Those scores on the clock.
Oh, yeah.
Bring out
The absolute worst
in parents.
everyone,
Worst.
in everyone, not just the parents, the kids too. Like it's,
Well,
it's
yeah, it's true.
but
it's
but
true,
but they're
But
but
the
they're
parents.
kids.
But mom and dad, this is where I wanted to go with
Yeah.
this because I had you've said so much good stuff here. It's like trying to digest everything that you've talked about. You hitting on volleyball, by the way, it's like my second favorite sport. So I love
Yeah.
so hearing you say that inspires me because I coach volleyball as well. Jesse helps me. His daughters play, my daughter plays. But I want to get back to what you just said because there's so much to unravel here with again, this is not about basketball. It's not all just about basketball, right? This is community.
Yeah.
These are girls high-fiving each other that don't know each other.
Yes.
Like there's no cliques.
No.
There's no this group. There's not this friend pool. Like they're shooting a layup and it's like all hands are out. Let's give high fives.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so inspiring. It's so rewarding to see. I love it with all my heart. Now, as someone that is loud, you're loud. As soon as I walked in, first time I walked in the gym and you came in and wow, and I was like, yeah, it's my girl right there.
Boom.
Oh yeah, boom. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna dig this, no questions about it. She's barking stuff. Get over here,
It's
do
energy,
this.
man.
Let's go. Boom. Taj, get down there. Girls, listen to me. And I'm like, God, yeah, this is great. But it was with a purpose.
Yes.
It wasn't. You got to demand these kids' attentions, which parents will then mostly appreciate. I think most parents appreciate
they do.
how
They
you
do.
do,
Yes, they
right? Because parents are the fickle bunch that we're getting ready to talk about here. And you said, I loved it with all my heart. Now, I missed the opening, but then I heard Taj say it on one, and it was, I don't want to hear a parent. You don't listen to the parents. You are on my court.
Yes.
You're inside these black lines. You listen to what me and the other coaches say. Your parents can talk to you when they're in the car on their way home.
Yes.
They can tell you all the good and all the bad, but while you're here playing for us, parents don't talk.
Yeah.
Basically keep your mouth shut, listen to the coaches. And listen, you can solve that problem. You can solve anything if you can keep parents from being
Yeah.
those. And I mean,
Yeah.
I have to imagine you've had some situations where this didn't just come out of the blue. I mean, obviously you're a player, so you get it, but tell us a little bit about like why that's so big on parents keep your mouth shut, players listen to coaches, why that's relevant to you.
Well, here's the funny thing. I've coached for so long, and at Mosaic, it never even at Galaxy, it never fails. And again, no offense to you guys, but I can't tell you how many men have come up to me and go, do you need my help with stuff? And, and it comes from I could tell you totally need a man's help. And I get that because you guys are just wired differently than we are. And so as far as parents, like you have no idea, like at Mosaic, when parents are yelling at their kids, even at Galaxy, when you're yelling at your child from the stand, it confuses them.
100%.
Because 9 times out of 10, the parents are yelling something different that their child was just told in a huddle or by the parent. And I have more than once looked up in the stands and told one of my Mosaic parents, if you want to coach them, I can get them off the court and you can coach them. Because I'm the coach. Like, if you want to go coach them, go take them to the Y.
Yeah.
You can be
Go
their
sign up
head
to coach.
coach.
Yeah.
Like, let somebody, and the thing is that sometimes it's women, sometimes it's mom, but majority of the time it's their dads. And I get it, but I also have had dads try to tell me or their kid what to do, and they've never played basketball. Never played basketball.
Failure to launch careers. So because they didn't do it, they want to
Yes,
feel like they're the
yes.
reason why. I saw
Yes.
plenty of that. I grew up in Indianapolis.
Oh,
that's
Lord,
that's
yeah.
hoops mecca, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows. Everybody's dad knows better, and
Yes.
and everybody's dad played it. Blah 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 blah. Right? All
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them though that I know they tried and couldn't.
Yes.
And so it hurts their ego if their son is not the guy.
Yes.
They take it as a personal attack, and that's where it comes to coming to you
Yes.
and complaining about playing time or he doesn't get enough shots or
Yes.
whatever it is, because they have to be able to run around and say, my son is, whatever.
Yeah.
He's a starting point guard and he scores blah, 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 blah. And they have to, if they can't do that,
Yes.
it's like they're reliving when they didn't make their high school team all over again.
Right.
Well, I mean, parents do live. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we were obviously, being the joke that we always did, coaching high level basketball and high level sports.
But you're vicariously
But
living through
in
your
reality,
kids
though,
anyway.
it is mind blowing. Now, granted, where we are as well, it's all volunteer coaches. I mean, all these schools that have this stuff, there's a lot of volunteers. People are volunteering. So you may have a coach that may not know. Like you guys are, you are experienced and know. Sometimes you may have someone, but they're out there giving their time. They're trying to make your kid better, and it's like some of these parents just don't care. They are all about their kid and themselves.
Yes.
So I thought to myself, and listen, I'm not saying I can't be that parent sometime to where I'm like looking at it and I'm like wanting to say something, but I love the fact that like that was like my wife Tricia looked at me and she goes, now the coaches said, do not yell shoot. Don't yell this.
Oh my God.
Don't yell this.
Oh my God.
And I was like, cool, okay, I got it. I think. Let me think about this. I mean, I had to like internalize it myself because I'm like, because when you think about it, and as someone that, when you're over there and you got 5 parents, you got a whole crowd yelling at you. I'm like thinking, do you think these kids actually are hearing what the fans are saying?
No.
Like they're trained to, they should be, they're listening to the coach. They should be,
Should be.
But then
They should be. But
sometimes they do turn and you got mom, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought to me that was like such a really cool feature not feature, but really cool attribute that it was like, listen, what, take
So you set the
control.
tone
Take control. No,
early.
set the tone and take control. And
This is not that.
Yeah, I like that.
But what I'm trying to teach the parents too to be better parents to their players, because they need to be a parent, not a coach.
Correct.
They have a coach. Especially, and I appreciate all of you all, but dads have never been female basketball players.
Never.
And there's a difference mentality that goes into being a female basketball player. And the dads that have yelled at their kids, I mean, even in Galaxy this time, we have had a 6th or 7th grade little girl go off the court crying because her dad was
Yeah.
yelling. And I'm going to have a conversation. It just happened this past Saturday. And like, why would you do that to your child? And so I think, parents are so just focused on scoring. That's all parents
I was
care
gonna say
about
that
is
earlier.
scoring. And when they yell, shoot, at a 3rd grader that's at the 3-point line that can't even make a layup, I want to turn to them and go, really? Like from the 3-point, they can't even get the ball up to the goal on a layup, and you're yelling at them to shoot. And so those are the things that as coaches, we try to, get through the parents is be their parent. And I send something out saying that your kid needs your support while they're playing. They have coaches. They need you to be good shot, good defense, great pass. Mm-hmm. That's what they need from a parent.
Yeah.
And parents kind of miss out on an opportunity to bond with their kids in a positive way about a sport.
Yep.
Instead of being that, oh God, my dad. And I have had more than one girl play for me that said, I don't even want to ride home with my dad after games, because they just can't be that parent.
I lived that life.
You missed this, you missed that. And I had a dad like that.
It's
It
brutal.
wouldn't matter if I scored, and I didn't have a 3-point line, and I could have scored have a 20-point game, 10 assists.
You missed a couple free
and
throws.
he would be like, "What?
You had 2
Yes."
turnovers.
Like,
and,
my gosh, just tell me. I did a great job.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, and I had a player this year at Mosaic. She had 22 points. And she said, "Dad, did you see?" Like, and I had 3 steals and this. And he goes, "Yeah, but you."
Makes me sick.
Right to her, "Yeah, but you missed that and you missed
Yeah,
that."
I hate
I'm like,
that.
why?
Makes me sick.
It's crazy.
Why?
But as parents, so many parents lose sight on the fact that 0.1% of these kids will ever play
College basketball.
college, let alone the pros. And that's what I tell people all the time. It's like, listen, your kid is learning foundations on teamwork, hard work,
Yes.
all these fundamentals that'll carry them for the rest of their life. And they're not here because they're going to play pro.
No.
So to your point, building your kid up, like they lose so
They
much sight of
lose that.
Yeah.
And it's coming from a kid who had a parent that did that, it caused such a wedge between us. And what parents don't understand is you doing that. I've had players that quit after high school. One dad came up to me at a game, I won't say where, but he came up to me and he saw me. He was like, "Coach K, she quit. She didn't even want to play college ball." And I wanted to look at him and go, "It's your fault.
Yeah.
It's your fault."
I think it's-
like, and it's detrimental. Like these parents, even kindergarten or first grader parents are a little better, but when they get in third, fourth, fifth, they start only caring about what if their kid scores.
Scoring.
And what they do emotionally to a female athlete, it can change who they are and mold them in a way that they accept later in life criticism
Abuse.
from males,
Emotional and verbal abuse.
and they don't understand that you are setting this precedent.
Yep.
But at the same time, when you get these parents that are perfect parents in the stands, like I hear parents going, "Good defense, good pass," and I want to turn around and go, "Thank you, you're
Yep.
doing your job," and you are going to create a kid that is well-rounded and healthier than the kid that the parents are screaming at them to the point where they're crying and walking off a court. Like, you have a choice as a parent on what kind of parent
Right.
in the stands you're going to be, and what is that choice you're going to make.
So I
It's
have
important.
2 little boys, right? He'll be 3 in July, the other one's 9 months old. And I decided when I had my first son, hopefully they want to play sports. I honestly, I had
You're
the
not going
career.
shoving.
I won the games. I have the rings. I have the trophies. I did it, right? And it's even cooler because what you said, and I'm always telling these young guys this that I mentor, like from home, and like the guys that want to play college ball and maybe pro ball. You can I didn't make a career out of scoring. I had games where I scored 20, 22 points. It was just my night. I was in the right place, right time. The way they were guarding us, it was designed for me. They were like, "We're going to bet that maybe he doesn't score 20 and then we win the game." That's like, those are the games. And then I would score 20, right? But my job, I was recruited to be a leader. I was very, very vocal. I was high energy and I played hard as hell. And I would guard you 94 feet and wear you the hell out. That's what I did. If I did that, Coach D never once said, "You only scored 2 points."
Yeah.
He didn't and I played 32 minutes, 35 minutes because I was impacting the game differently.
Right.
We would track deflections. Now you start tracking that stuff, like how disruptive I'm being. I'm at the top of that chart every time
Right.
because that's how I'm impacting the game. Right. And I was aware enough that scoring, like I wasn't as elite of a scorer as these other guys on our team. So I don't need to do that.
Right.
We had 2 All-American scorers. They were first-team All-League guys. I don't need to score 20 points.
Yeah, but society doesn't
Well,
focus on deflections.
I was gonna say
Defense,
pants,
let's
yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
Well, society as a whole,
Well-
what do they put on YouTube? Scoring highlights.
100%.
They don't ever put
100%.
like blocks or deflections or
But
steals.
But I've already predetermined if they decide they want to play, right? I hope they do because it will be the most fun I'll ever have. But if they do, the only thing that I'm going to yell negative in a game is about attitude and effort.
Yes.
If you're being an asshole when you're playing, I will rip your ass off the court and scream at you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Right.
I don't care if you miss a shot. I don't care if you turn the ball over. I don't care. I'm going to encourage you the whole time. And the other rule I set was on our ride home, I'm not going to say anything unless they ask. to have a
Right.
conversation.
Right.
If they ask for the feedback, I'll give it, and it's going to be blunt, and it's going to be raw and real, but I'm going to give them time to process, because that's all I ever wished was, I'm already upset about it. You think I don't know that I missed X
That's
amount of
what I was
shots?
gonna say.
You think I don't know I turned the ball over at
That's
the
what
end of
I
the
was
game
gonna
and that
say.
cost us the game?
Yeah.
You think I don't know that I got backdoored because I was
Right.
watching the ball and of course I know all those things.
Players know what they
Yes.
did wrong. Every game my team ever lost in high school was my fault.
100%.
I was a point guard.
So was I.
I was like, if I didn't pass that ball, if I didn't make those free throws, it was my fault we lost. I didn't need anybody else to tell us.
100%.
Tell me that what I did wrong.
Well, and that standard-
Can parents actually that haven't played the sport get
They don't
that?
they don't
And they
understand it.
can't.
That's
It's impossible. You can't, because you can't understand if you didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Right, and that's what kills me is these parents that have never played yelling the things that they do at
Follow
kids.
your shot. That's the one that makes it makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
Because like that, when you're young, so this is to your point of teaching fundamentals. When you're young, yeah, sure, it doesn't matter. We in games specifically designate who's going on the offensive glass, because we know if we don't do that, they're sending one guy to the other end of the court, and as soon as they get the rebound, they're turning and launching it.
Yes,
It's a layup every time.
Snowbird every time.
It seems like it's innocent, it's not harmful or whatever when they're younger. But if you keep screaming that over and over and over, when they get into middle school and high school and they're a guard,
Yes.
and they're diving to the rim on every single play, and their man's running the other end and scoring a layup, and then they get pulled, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you kept saying, follow your shot, follow your
Yeah,
shot.
go
Like,
rebound
it-
as a point
it-
guard. No, point.
That's not what they do. That's not
That's
their
not what
role.
they do. You have to understand the sport to understand the position.
Well,
of
the
what
parents
they do.
miss the
That's the one that
opportunity.
kills me.
Like you said it. Parents miss their opportunity to be uplifting, to be parents, to connect, to bond. Listen,
encourage.
you got the coach to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like you got the perfect,
Amen.
you got the
Right.
perfect. Like, listen, hey, coach is a dick. You know what? Like, hey, like coach, I'm gonna let coach yell at you because
Yeah.
I'm gonna get in the car and we're gonna go get ice cream and because you
Yeah.
played hard and I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
instead,
yeah.
like that's a moment. Like, but here's the thing though. Like, that's fantasy land. I mean, it is. I mean, we can sit here and talk about it all day long. It's fantasy land because parents just don't get it. I'm not saying all, but a lot. But if you are a parent and you are listening, it is just it's just one of those where it's like, man, just like I said, you said it best. Uplift your kid, connect with them, use that as an opportunity
Right.
to
And
build
we-
your relationship, not drive that dagger in there to where
Right.
you're like, as you said, I don't even want to get in the damn car with him because I know he's going to talk about it. So it's
Yeah.
just parents got to start listening and
And I
learning.
promise you, if you think saying the things out loud that you're saying is convincing the people around you that you know what you're talking about, because this is another thing I think is part of it. They
No, they
want
know.
they
People
want
around
people
them
to
know.
think
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
I can watch any basketball game and watch the parents and tell you, I can pinpoint every single one of them. They played.
Yeah.
Because they just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
know.
And
Like,
you guys are all talking about, I was fortunate. I didn't have that as a kid. My dad wasn't the one. He was my hardest coach. When
Oh,
he
mine
coached
wasn't
me.
either. This is just.
No, I'm not saying you,
This
but-
is
My dad
This
was
is watching.
super
This is
hard on
watching.
me.
I mean, as watching parents just in general, because I didn't
Yeah.
have that either. I mean,
Yeah, my dad was super
My parents
hard
didn't
on
care
me.
about sports other than watching me.
But when he coached me, I mean, I was the last one to play. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't like a lot of these parents they coach so their kid can be the starting point guard, all that stuff. I learned from a father who, obviously, like, I played, but it was one of those things where he was hard on his own kid. But when he was in the bleachers, like when I played at St. X, when I played,
Biggest
college,
fan.
biggest fan. It was positive, and I think like at 45 years old, what shaped me as a parent and as a player was that. And so, if parents can embrace that,
Yeah.
what they'll do for their kids later in life is unreal. So let's shift real quick. Let's pivot.
Oh, can I tell one funny story on that though?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
You all
No,
have,
you got the floor.
You can totally delete this from the whole podcast if you want. But I had a parent call me or text me and say, "Hey, I got your number from somebody. I want to get my kids into Galaxy. I know you've closed the signups." And so I call him, and I won't say the school. He said, "I've coached, but I quit coaching, and I've got 2 girls, and I really want them." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, we work on skills. We don't keep score." And then he goes, "Okay." And I said, "And I work with the parents," because he said I quit because the parents were so bad. And I was like, "Okay, good. You can be somebody in the stands that help me, with the parents and whatnot." I kid you not. Every single practice,
He's the worst
this
one.
man is the worst one. And during a game, one of his kids plays for me. During a game, I'm getting ready to go over something at halftime, and he's asking his kid to come over here. And I'm a middle child and a Pisces, so don't. I'm like this until you get me in there.
Don't get in my way. Don't cut
And
me
so
off.
I turn to him and I go, really? Can I have her? Because we're playing the game. And then at practice, the next practice, we're doing layups. And his kid neither kid can shoot a layup. Neither kid can shoot a layup at all, right? And he yells something at her and I turn and I said, really? I said, I thought you were going to be one of the ones that helped me, not one of the ones that were going to be a problem in front of everybody at the practice. Because I'm like, if you're going to do that, I'm going to blast you, dude.
Yeah.
Because we
Lost
talked on
causes.
the phone about
There's
it.
nothing you can do to get through. I mean,
Nothing
it's a
we
loss.
can do.
It's a lost cause.
And that's
It's
9 times
frustrating.
out of 10 the people that the parents that do stuff like that and come up to me and ask and whatnot. Their kids don't have the fundamentals. You're a
The
coach.
simplest things.
You want to be a coach and you coach them, but your kids don't even know how to do a bounce pass. Don't know how to dribble with their left and right. How about you go home and work with them on that instead of trying to tell me, who's been coaching since I was like 22 years old, right? And have more trophies and more players that I've coached, gone on to college and played than you even know. Like, can you leave me alone?
No, you can't.
That's what bothers me.
I'm sorry.
the
Like,
most.
parents suck.
Well, and my coaches,
A lot of them. Well, not all parents. I don't mean all. Like, we got some good parents.
And I get it. It's your
but
kid. You're
there's-
excited. Like you want them to do well. I understand where it's coming from. It's just
No.
I don't think that they're aware enough. To your point, like it's a lack of self-awareness. Like you're not aware how your ego is tied into their performance.
correct,
So
and
that's
undermining the coach.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's not a
Right.
good thing to teach your child.
No.
Is turn to me and listen to me, because
Yeah.
as they get older, in high school, in middle school, I say something, but in high school, if a coach sees a player talking to their parent in the stands, they're going to put
it's
them on the
over
bench.
with. Yeah, you're
they're
not
done.
playing. Yeah.
You enjoy talking to
No,
them
no.
while they're sitting on the bench.
Yeah, it's over
And
with.
I'm trying to work with parents to make them understand this is how you're the best for your child.
Yeah.
Like, be the best parent you can for your child as they pursue this. And a lot of them won't play elementary ball, and a lot of
Right.
them at Galaxy won't play middle school ball. There's talented kids with Galaxy for sure,
Yeah.
and we see the difference. But we have great parents too. Like I have a couple of parents that'll be like, "Oh, they stunk up the court that day," but I'm not gonna say nothing to them. I was like, "No, they didn't. They did this good or that," and they're funny, but they know basketball. They might not have coached it,
Yeah.
But and that's what I was gonna say. You want to be a good parent? Take your kids to go watch U of L women's play,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
and let them see it being played.
Yep.
Take them in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yes, and
And
play
shoot.
with them. Have them watch full games, not
Yep.
just
Yes.
highlights.
Right.
You need to delegate. It's so funny. Go ahead.
Galaxy basketball is listen. We got a new motto for you. This isn't just developmental league for kids K through 7. This is developmental league for parents and etiquette and how to act in stands. Listen, parents, if you are trying to learn how to act in stands, sign up for Galaxy.
Let's go.
You're going to end up getting people be like, listen, my kid's not even in school anymore, but I need a,
Yeah. Well,
but no, it's funny because it's so true. But I want to, the one thing I wanted to say that I'm impressed about, and if you're a parent listening to this right now, is the fact that it is developmental. It is
Yes.
you are teaching fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know. Like, so I'm being honest. When Jesse, we got signed up because of a friend said, "Hey, go try this out," and I was like, "Sure." Greg likes to play basketball. I didn't know what it was going to be, and I got to practice and I got to watch, and it was literally, it is drills, it's fundamentals, it's education, and it's not you mess up. All right, we'll get you in 10 minutes. And no, go back and do it again.
Do it again.
Wait a second. You're not doing
God,
that
I
right.
love
Hey,
that.
wait a second.
I love
and it
that.
was constant. And it's like, no, you're giving that kid the ability, the mentoring, the coaching to learn. Like, you can let a kid run through a layup line one time and mess up. You do that 3 or 4 times, they're not learning.
Right.
But if you stop them and you are like taking intent. So I want to give shout out again, me personally, as someone that's in this, I'm giving you the fundamentals don't get taught.
They don't.
at a lot of levels. It is literally now. Jesse and I talk about this at the lower levels. You don't have time. Like when you're like you get a season, the season's like this long.
Right.
You know, you get like 5 weeks.
But that's where Galaxy comes in.
No,
100%.
that's why.
Yes.
Which is why I am 1,000% so on board with this and promoting this and talking about it. Is that if you are a youth basketball parent and you are part of that, to where your kids put into this cycle and they got 5 weeks to play 8 games. And they go to practice and they do layup drills for 10 minutes and then, okay, great, let's try to figure this out. This is what your child needs to learn the game. We're working on slides, on anticipation, driving into here, the players sliding, coming off a pick and roll. Where's your hand supposed to be? Which way are you turning? Running outside the drill so that you're not going inside the drill for safety concerns. Like there's so many little things that you could come into this practice and be like, so I'm giving you personally, like I said, to me, I love it.
Thank you.
That's why I like it. After first practice, I wanted to introduce myself because I thought this is incredible. Girls getting this kind of, I mean, and I'm saying girls because it's for girls.
Yeah.
But getting this level of mentoring and coaching and care, man.
Well, not even, just all those, yes. And that's why I'm so proud of it.
Oh, you should be. You should be.
But we also, I've had kids come try out for middle school that don't know what the lane is or the block is.
Oh, amen.
So we teach what the lane is. We teach the 3-point line. We teach the block.
No.
We teach how to line up for a free throw, how to wait before you come past the 3-point line for a free throw. The out of bounds, like the first and second graders are now not going out of bounds and they're learning how to pass the ball in so they don't touch the black line. Like people that are athletic and play basketball, they take those little things for granted. Like all these kids should just know this stuff. And so my true goal of Galaxy was to help all of Jefferson County get back to having top players playing basketball. Because Jefferson County has taken a dive, and there's
State of Kentucky in general.
Yeah, I was going to say Kentucky in general.
with
From where it
basketball,
was in the 80s and 90s. I mean, I'm just saying it just went down, but it can also attribute that to AAU and all the way basketball is now, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and
No,
like
that
the
is.
charter schools and like, the academies and there's a lot of
things like
kids
that,
are from here that now play at like Aspire that's in.
But the thing
I think,
is you've
Florida.
got to get them at this age.
Yes.
You gotta
So
start
then
them
when
now.
they go to elementary, they already know these things. And then when they go from elementary to middle, they're going in and the coach is like, I know this year when the kids, because the Galaxy girls are from all over. That's one thing I want to say is we have every single residential zip code represented at Galaxy within Jefferson County. I also have 5 girls from Indiana and 1 girl from Shelbyville. And so kids are coming from all over to be a part of Galaxy. And the thing is that we should see middle school basketball, like all throughout Jefferson County, have girls that are coming in at the 6th grade level with stronger basic skills.
Yep.
To where then they can just continue to grow those skills and so on. And then now that we're going up to 8th grade, then the high school coaches should get these kids that are ready to play. And, I've had parents come up to me during the 6th and 7th grade games, and they've said, you can totally tell your Mosaic girls from all the other girls because they know this and this and this and this, and when they're doing their drill, they already know that. Well, but that's how I've always coached because I watched Pat Summitt.
Yeah.
I played. My high school mentor coach that I worked with, Stacy Pendleton, was an excellent skills coach. He now coaches over at Providence in Indiana and high school. And so I have taken from the best and I've put those into how I teach. And I can only teach one way.
Right.
So even though I'm teaching 3rd graders, I'm still coaching them like I would my high school players.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there's
great.
no difference.
How many years is this? Do you know if is this? I don't know if I can say a name on here. The best ball handler in 3rd grade. Can I say a name?
Sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about JJ?
Yes, I didn't know. I
Yes.
knew her name. I didn't know if we want to say it.
JJ, yeah.
So funny story, but is this her first year or second year Galaxy Girls?
It's her first. This is
So-
her first time ever playing
That's
basketball.
what I was gonna
basketball.
say. So this is a testament of what Galaxy's done for her. So her mom told us last week she goes out for her elementary school team. She doesn't make the team. She's been with Galaxy Girls now for going on. This is going to be her
This
5th
will be
week.
5th week, yeah.
And hands down, in the 3rd grade, she's the best player. I mean, like ball handler, maybe there's
Ball
bigger
handler,
girls.
yeah.
But for guards,
Yes.
aggressive, her basketball IQ
Yes.
is up here.
Yes.
Didn't make her 3rd grade team, and to see her playing the way she's playing because of what she's learned in the 5 weeks, and what that even does for my little girls, because I'm talking to my little girls, they know JJ is, right? And I'm like, buddy, JJ didn't make her elementary school team. And then they're like, Michael Jordan didn't make his high school team. And I'm like,
Right.
but my point tying it back in is they're learning that like these skills that if they go and they try and they learn and they pay attention when they're at Galaxy, they can get better. But that's literally what you all are doing is you all are teaching the little things to these kids.
Yes.
And you see a JJ who's gone from here to here in 5 weeks.
Well, and also, and I know her mom won't mind me saying this, when JJ first started, she felt like all she needed to do was shoot, shoot, shoot. And, you know, her parents and everybody yells shoot
Right.
and whatnot. They're young basketball
Yeah.
parents. But this past week, JJ was
Dimes.
giving some good passes
She was
into
Chad.
shots. And I was
Dimes.
like, yeah, JJ.
Yes.
And, you know, her defense is getting better. And so the aspect of her whole game is growing. And her mom's so excited about summer ball because she's a parent that is constantly emailing me when I can't wait. and so it's I love that. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
And when you have, like, I've got another incident. I had a little 6th grader that ended up coming to Mosaic. Her name's Carter. She started with Galaxy fall of 2023. And when her mom brought her, Carter couldn't even dribble the ball. She's really fast. She could not dribble the ball up the court without it rolling out of bounds or her losing her dribble and whatnot. And I like the coaches, Avery and them, they coached her in 2023. And when they saw her this past spring, when she walked in there, Avery said, "Oh my gosh, where Carter is at."
Yeah.
And it's about, we taught, you know, and Miss Webb would say, "Oh, no, you all, everything that Carter's done is Galaxy because fundamentals. Because without those, how can you play basketball? If you can't dribble with your right and left, if you can't shoot layups, if you can't, you know, slide your feet and guard, like."
But you can't learn that. You can't learn that stuff in like just overnight.
No, it's repetition.
no.
You can't, but you can't learn it if you're not taught it or even know
Correct.
what it means or exists. It's like it's one thing to go out and shoot 1,000 jump shots. That's great. I commend you. You should go shoot a lot of jump shots.
There's so much more to the game.
But
What if you can't get open?
That's I mean, there's so many things. But
You don't
my
know how to
point
run
being
off
is
the
that
screen.
it's like one of those where these like kids and stuff. There's so much more of the growth and development, and learning and knowing the game, and
And you definitely can't if your family doesn't have the money to sign you up for what was
Which
out
is the
there.
biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing
that's the
is
biggest thing.
economics. Think about it. I know for a fact, like, a lot of the girls that are in Galaxy would not be playing basketball right now had it not been for
100%.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have unleashed, and I can use that word. Galaxy and my coaches, Avery McKissick, Nicole Simon, married name, Autumn Miller, Taj Tillman, Lauren Brooks, Nicole Lauterbach, Keisha Perry, and Allison Weissman. Without them,
I love that.
without them teaching what they're teaching, we have so many girls that would not have unleashed this love for basketball. They wouldn't have even known, oh, I can actually play this game. Because that's what happened to me at 11 was, wait, I can play this? Like, okay, this is cool.
Hold on.
Let me see what I can do with this. And that's the thing is, like, until I'm a huge believer in the fact of it, until a kid hears the word they can't, they don't know they can't.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when they come into Galaxy, these little kindergartners and these little first graders and whatnot, we're telling them dribble, dribble, dribble. Yeah, you can do that pass. You can play this defense. You can learn this. And so when you see the girls go from kindergarten to first to second, then up to third, especially now our 3rd graders, the progression is uncanny because they've never been told they can't do this.
Right.
Well, what we've seen in
Are we
the
running
5
out of
weeks.
time?
No, he was just
Okay.
he was just checking the cameras. What we've seen is amazing, but you're limited right now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's talk about your next steps.
Okay,
And how you
sorry.
want to
Well,
grow.
what do you need? I mean,
And I was gonna say, say what can be done to help, because
Plus,
that's
yeah.
what I also want people to know if they do want to get involved and contribute in whatever way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can speak for probably all. I mean, clearly these two are huge fans. I'm a believer as of today. I didn't have a
thank
chance
you.
to meet you till now.
Thank
It's currently
But
it's
I wanna
two
help too.
5-week sessions.
It's currently 2 5-week sessions,
that's all
and then
you can afford.
that's all I can afford because I've been blessed enough to get small grants that have covered us, and I have one group that loves Galaxy so much that they've promised me a $5,000 grant every year from their corporation or whatnot, and so with that $5,000, I split it. And sometimes I'm able to just pay for the coaches, and then sometimes I have to get new equipment or something like that. But I put my own money in.
Guys,
as
that's what I
well.
was going to say.
I pay.
That money is not, there is 0% that is going into coach's pocket. That is literally
No.
coach funding, equipment. The coach,
Paying the coaches.
When you say paying the
Yeah.
coaches,
They get
it's
$10
meager.
an hour.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
they
what I was
get
going to
$10
say.
an
Yeah.
hour, and they give up like.
That's not covering their gas.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah,
real.
no,
Yeah.
it's not covering their gas. Avery works the most hours, and like I think this session she did like 46 hours in 5 weeks she gave to Galaxy, and you know, and I'm not able to pay him a lot. I pay the scorekeeper. I pay the little girl that does the uniforms because we check in and out the uniforms so that I can wash them, which was taking me 5.5 hours every Sunday to wash them, and then another 2
You
hours.
wash them.
I wash them, and
You
then another
wash them.
2 hours for me to put the jerseys with the size shorts, and so now I'm down to just 2 hours because I found a great little laundry place. It's called, I think it's World Wax is what it's called over on Oak. So they're washing my uniform
Good for
and
them.
giving me a
$94 a
discount.
week, yeah.
I think I've got to remember their name. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's not bad.
But they're over on Oak Street, 6 minutes away from Mosaic. So I drop them off Saturday after the games, and then I pick them up Sunday, and they're all washed, and they give me a great discount. So I'm getting, I think it's 68 pounds of laundry done for $92. So I'm like, yes.
No, that's a
Okay.
bargain.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what I need in order to grow. Like the uniforms, some of the uniforms are getting older, where their numbers you can tell they're getting ready to come off or whatnot. And so I work with two great companies, Kratz. Drew Strack there, he's been wonderful to me. I've worked with him since I started coaching in Louisville 23 years ago. And then Jeff Allgood has Allgood Apparel Marketing. He sells us the T-shirts for $5 a piece. And so I'm able to buy the T-shirts, and I give every kid a free T-shirt, and then parents buy T-shirts to help support being able to do that. And so, you know, it's the little engine that could. Every little bit I put into it, and yes, I assure you, I have not made one penny.
No, yeah.
Of Galaxy.
Well, no, it's
and
not-
that's my thing is
Yeah.
that I don't plan on.
Yeah, that's not your
I would
mission.
rather pay my coaches. I would rather the girls like. For the 3-on-3 tournament, which we'll talk about in a second, and for the summer ball, I really want to have different uniforms for the girls to represent Galaxy. But last summer, when we played in a little tournament at Mid-America, we just wore our Galaxy pennies, you know, the little jerseys and shorts. And so those are things that I want to be able to do, and we need better basketballs now, and you know, eventually the things that we would need to be able to do one-on-one instruction with the girls I don't have. Different equipment that you do, you know, different stuff with. We did buy agility, a little bag of agility stuff like a ladder and cones and stuff like that. So, you know, every little bit just helps. It just helps. And the coaches have and would work for free. They would. They volunteered their time this past fall because I didn't have money.
Right.
And so anybody that works with Galaxy would always work for free. It's me that feels bad because they're all mothers and they take their time away from their kids or they have other jobs. And the girl, Audrey, who's a huge help, works a concession. She's assistant manager at Hobby Lobby. So when she's not working there, she comes and helps out and is at practices to help take whatever if we're doing summer camp applications. And so my girls that I've coached who are helping with Galaxy would give their time freely. I just think their time is worth something.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Because of
for
what
sure.
they're giving
Yeah.
skills wise and what they're teaching the girls. And so, you know, the ideal situation would be we have our own facility. I'm able to give all the girls great uniforms every session without pilling numbers and and things like that. And just to be able to have the best equipment we could for them, because, we've got the little girls' basketballs. I found these really cool battery or chargeable pumps that are the best thing ever on Amazon, $24, I think. And I bought a bunch of those, but the little girls' rubber balls deflate every week. And so we're having to pump them up before the practices all the time. And so it's just because they've been used so much, you got to get new basketballs almost yearly because of how much they're pounded. And I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth with the basketball.
Well, hold your thought, because you talk about how people can help. Obviously, it's a cost that you fund through grants and things. So when you buy the little girls' basketballs, what are those? What does a bag of those cost?
The good Wilson balls are $59 a piece.
And you've got how many?
I think I had enough money to do, I think I got 20 of them.
So
the very first.
I'm not very good at math, but it's $1,200.
Yeah.
So how can people help? I mean, people listening right now, like you're as compelled as we are, like that would be $200 less that you have to take that could be used towards uniforms and coaches
Correct.
and all the things. So, if someone was wanting to help, we're not done here, but if someone was wanting to help, what's the best way for them to reach out to say, Coach, I want to help. I want to do this. Like, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you? Like,
Sure. Yeah. It's Galaxy Basketball 502 at gmail.com or my phone number, Lord, I'll be blown up, 502-724-5192. We do have I think I've got it linked up on our webpage, galaxybasketball.org. So if you want to see some of the stuff, or you could look up Facebook. It's galaxybasketball.org. All of our Facebook is Galaxy Basketball. Instagram, Galaxy Basketball. You can see videos of the girls and things that we do to support everything I'm saying right now, and just, see the type of things that we're doing, even practice pictures and whatnot.
I mean, all those little things add up so quick because she's running this on a shoestring, not even a shoestring.
Yeah.
You're running it on a shoestring plus your own wallet. And what you're doing, the fact, you just named all those girls that are coaching. The fact that they're there and they're putting in their time and their energy and their blood, sweat, and tears is a testament back to what you taught them when they were little.
And they would say that if they were here. They would say
I know
that.
they would.
And I love them because I myself wasn't physically able to bear children, and as it were, never had, with a partner or anything. And so they're my kids, and there's a couple of them that call me Mama K, and I have kids that are on just on my Mosaic team that call me Mama K now.
I love
and
that.
so it's like a generational thing.
That's so good.
But I've sent care packages over to Ireland when one of my players, Zakia Shahid Martin, who's a police officer, and she was over in Ireland, and I sent her a care package of food because she was like, we don't have ramen noodles over here. Coach K, send those. Because my love for them and my want for them to be and grow into the best persons they could be never stops. A good coach, that never stops. Them wanting to see you thrive and, have these successes in life. And so these Galaxy girls, they know even though I'm retiring from Mosaic, I'm going to be Galaxy from now on. And my Mosaic players were so happy that they got to be a part of Galaxy, and I upped the grade because they want to continue to be a part of me and see me all the time. And I go and watch. Like, I went and watched Rosslyn. I went and watched a little girl named Mia over in Indiana and her play, and round up.
That's got to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
To go watch them play on in the different
Yes,
league, and you're just there to watch and support.
Yes.
But them looking over and seeing you there.
Yes.
Come on. Anytime you've ever played and someone came to watch you specifically, that is the most heartwarming, like great feeling, like love embracing kind of stuff right there. So cool. That's awesome.
Well, I try,
Kudos.
and I'm excited because this year now I'm going to get to go watch middle school games because I won't be coaching.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have girls all over the city at so many different middle schools from Galaxy, and I love that.
How are you going to detach yourself from coaching? How's that going to, so have you thought about that? Because, you're coaching, you're trying to grow a basketball organization, yet you're not giving up, you're like stepping away.
I am stepping
How
away.
is that, you haven't done it yet, How's that
Not yet.
transition going? What do you think? I mean, what do you think? Is that going to be tough? Or are you or are you so excited on Galaxy that you're like, I can channel all of this from here and channel to Galaxy, so maybe I won't miss it too much, you know?
Well, the coaches are going to laugh at me because the little Comets team is going to play this summer. And I will be coaching them when they play this summer in the 2 little tournaments that I have them in. And that will be my last coaching job. And I said it would be Galaxy this session, but then I was like, these little Comets are kind of good, so let's put them in. They are. And they are. You have to see
Hey, winning still does matter, okay?
Yeah.
Like, winning
She's still
does.
a competitor.
Listen, winning still matters. All right, let's not get all like complete like fairy tale, like fundamentals in life and great people. Yes, we love that. We're supporting that, but
That's the foundation
we
for
also
winning.
like to win.
Well, it's not so much
Not
winning.
win, but you
No.
like to see them perform at their highest
Yes,
level.
and so-
because you know their potential.
Yeah,
Yes.
and what gives me the best pleasure and to know that we're on the right path is to take, like last summer when we took our 4th and 5th grade groups and went and played AAU teams, and we only had one practice with the Galaxy girls together, and we ended up in the 4th grade semifinals of the tournament and got beat by 4.
Yeah.
Like, so when I saw the girls do that, I was like, not only are they special players, but they're special group of kids when you put them together.
Yeah.
And in life, you know what that's like. When you find a circle of people, that it
It's
clicks.
this group right here.
That it clicks.
Yeah.
It's important to take that to the fullest. And these girls that play for and when they call themselves Galaxy girls, they deem them.
That has to make you feel
Right.
so good inside,
Yeah,
though.
they Mimi was one of them, and Karaya and Aaliyah. The first crew said
Galaxy
Galaxy
Girls.
Girls.
I
Man,
like
we're
that.
Galaxy Girls.
That's
and
fire, actually.
when you get those
they
Galaxy,
break it off. We are Galaxy Girls.
yeah,
That's
that's what
sick.
we say.
I love
And
that.
when you get them together, they love playing together.
Yeah.
And for girls, I don't know if there's a separation for men, but for girls, when you love who you're playing with and who you're playing for, magic happens.
It makes a difference
yeah.
in the men's game.
Magic happens for women on the court. And the girls love playing together. And so last summer, the coaches and I talked, and I said, we can try them on a tournament. And so we played in one. Well, this year we have 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 6th, and 7th that are going to be playing in 4 or 5 tournaments. And so I'm branching out because the girls don't want to stop.
Yeah.
And it's not an AAU because I only go in tournaments that you don't have to be an AAU. It's just things that I let want to bring the girls, the coaches are willing to coach, because I want them to continue basketball through summer so they don't sit and do nothing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
lose
important.
I mean, it's every skill is perishable. Like
Yeah.
if you're not continuing to build on it, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's no like
True.
there's no like I'm gonna not do anything, but I've still got the skill set. And I can attest to that being 30 and I don't touch the ball as much. So when I go play pickup, I'm honestly terrible compared to the version of me that had the ball in my hand every single day, all day long, which is
Yeah.
frustrating.
But
and then
it's-
my body also has
Yeah.
limitations
Father
from
time.
Well, but to the testament of when you're a basketball player, the IQ that we have when we're playing is great. But as you get older, that IQ gets better.
Yeah, because you don't have you can't make up for the
Something's gotta
physical
get
stuff.
better.
Like I can make up for the mistake because I'm quick. Now I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
you got to like time it right, or you got to see it before it happens. And
Yeah,
just,
but you also get
know,
crafty though. That
Yeah.
that old school, when we were kids and we were starting playing, and it's funny you said how women their ability, their time, because there's not. I don't know of any women's open leagues. Like we have men's leagues at church and we have men,
Yeah,
so to your point, like you don't see as much of what I'm going to say, but like when I was 20 or 25 and I was playing in, men's pickup leagues and the dude that was 60, like, no, he may not be able to jump as high anymore. He may not be able to get down the floor as fast, but he could.
He's
he could
busting
sure
your
hit
ass
that.
Oh,
though.
he knew how to.
He did that jump shot.
Yeah.
That bank. Oh, it was open.
Oh, he put you on that hip.
You better not
can't
let him get
around
that
him.
off.
It
Yeah.
is wild when you think about that. Like there, I don't know of many, if any, like women's, adult.
Yeah, I don't think
leagues.
I've
Like,
ever
I'm
seen
sure
that.
there's something, but it's.
I
but
think there's
hopefully,
But you're how we're
I think there's
thinking.
one.
The point being is that you can go across the city, state, and find men's leagues.
Yeah.
I get asked to hoop every day
and that's,
by
Yeah.
different groups at different gyms at different times. Like you could play 3 different pickup games in the same day. One here, one there, one there, with a completely different group, from dudes who don't know shit about basketball to old pro guys that are all coming together to play, right? Like it's different levels.
And it's not there for us. And the thing is that hopefully when these Galaxy girls grow up and they have their own family and their own kids, maybe their kids will end up in Galaxy. Because it's surreal for me that Avery, her daughter Shiloh, is just 3, and she's tall because Avery's 6'1" and her husband Michael is 6'5", and Shiloh is playing in Galaxy.
Oh, yeah.
And Nicole Harville, who played for me at Manual, her little girl is playing with the
cool.
kindergarten group.
It is really cool to see him.
And Lauren Brooks, who I coached against her because she played at South Odom against Avery. Her daughter is playing in the kindergarten group. And then Nicole Simon, her daughter Noelle, plays with the Comets.
Yeah.
And so when I see these girls playing, that's the key. We keep our girls in sports, and we keep our girls, because our one-page flyer that we have, it talks about statistics in girls in sports. You know, when girls play basketball, or specifically basketball, there's more CEOs out there. There are women that are basketball background. There's more professional, different types of jobs that their background was basketball. And it's a very interesting thing, because what basketball entails, that's kind of different than a lot of other sports.
It's enough individual, because there's only 5 players on the court at the same time, that you're not wearing equipment that you're hiding behind. So if you mess up, everyone sees it.
Right.
However, there's still 4 other players. So it's still a team game. I think it is the most unique mix of individual performance and achievement that can't be done without the other 4 people.
Right.
Like there's not, like soccer, there's 11, there's like 7 people or 11 people on the field at the same time. I mean, half the people watching don't know that you whiffed on your first touch was too hard, so the ball didn't, whatever. Like they can't see that. In football, they have equipment on. There's so much shit going on. Like if you miss a block, if your guy doesn't tackle the quarterback, like no one knows you missed a block, right?
But basketball, you're on blast.
You are.
You're on blast.
It is just as much of a display individually, like a one-on-one sport is, but it still has the team aspect. And I think that's why uniquely basketball positions people to deal leadership-wise at a high level, because there's still enough individual accountability, but you still have to learn how to like know your role, know your personnel, communicate between we're doing this or doing that, or change things as it's happening, and be able to communicate with people as it's happening and then follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then listen to somebody that's superior over you.
Correct.
Which is a big thing, is like being a good worker. There's nothing wrong in
Knowing
life.
your role.
Yeah, know
Like,
your role.
this is what I do.
Your role. And the funny thing is, when kindergarten kids start with us, they sometimes, the very first day, will run over to parents crying because they're in front of all these people.
Yeah, they're scared.
And learning to shut that out and still perform
Focus.
is another really good key to life. Like being able to shut people out and not worry about all these people watching me.
Like I've played in front of 15,000 people.
Yeah. I don't
Like
think
you
I got that
airball
many.
a 3.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's no hiding.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It'd be a big miss if we don't talk about the event that's coming
Oh,
up.
Galaxy Jam at Oxmoor Center.
This is
yes.
huge. So
this is huge.
You
This
weren't
is
from
huge.
Louisville, but Louisville used to throw a monster 3-on-3 showdown. Street ball showdown is what they called it.
Oh yeah.
And that's
Loved
been
it.
gone for years.
So
I
much
loved
fun.
it, played in it plenty of times. You're holding Galaxy Jam at
Yes.
the Oxmoor Mall,
Oxmoor Center.
Oxmoor Center.
Oxmoor Center.
So talk about what's going on. Tell us a little bit about, the event.
Yeah, this is another, like, when we talk about being, I don't mean to go religious, but when there's always a path and people come into your life for reasons, Paige, the general manager of both, St. Matthew Mall and Oxmoor Center, last year we scrimmaged a little team from Height Elementary, and her daughter played with them, and she asked me to come to Breakfast with Santa. I said, I would love for you to come to Breakfast with Santa, give Galaxy information out. This would be great. And I was like, okay. So I went, and for the first time doing it, because I know she's not from Louisville. I think she moved, don't quote me, but I think it was like Minnesota or someplace. And it was her first time doing it. And there was less people there than they had hoped. So she and a couple other people came up to me and said, we would love to talk to you about doing this tournament. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I went and met with them. And, I can't say enough about what Oxmoor Center wants this to become for Galaxy, but for the city as well. So we are going to host with Oxmoor Center a Galaxy Jam. It's a 3-on-3 tournament for 3rd through 7th graders, boys and girls. And the Oxmoor Center is basically funding it. And we're going to have food trucks, and the Oxmoor Center is going to give every single kid an envelope full of different discounts from stores in the Oxmoor Center.
Oh, cool.
And I love Paige so much because she said, and not just that 10% off. She said, that's nothing. And so she is really working hard to get the different stores in Oxmoor Center to give great discounts for the parents that are coming to the Galaxy Jam, because it's important that Louisville is all of Louisville. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And I one thing that I despise about our city is this side and that side and who lives here and who lives
East
there.
End, West End.
Yeah, and that's another thing I love about Galaxy is that
You talked about the zip codes. I mean, you talked about it.
Yeah, we are all over.
It's like a melting
and we're
pot
all
of zip
together.
codes. I mean,
I know, and we don't have, knock on wood, we don't have fights, and nobody's like nasty to each other.
Oh, my
It's a
God,
great
I'm
thing.
just
Such
Like,
a, I mean,
it
like,
is
that gives
still,
me
it is
chills,
literally the
'cause-
great. It is an unbelievable environment.
It is, and this is what this tournament's going to
So
be.
when are signups?
They're signups. So you can email me at galaxybasketball502 at gmail.com. And I have a form that I would send out to everybody. The Galaxy girls will be in it. And so we're hopefully going to have 40 boys teams and 40 girls teams, and run on June 13th. From 9 a.m. to 4:30, we're going to have music.
It's gonna be so much fun.
There's medals for 1st to 4th place. We've got different companies that are helping us. Every little kid that's in it will get a free Galaxy Jam T-shirt and whatnot. And so we're just going to build this. And this is our first annual. Oxmoor Center would like us to do this every summer, and it's going to be Galaxy Jam. So Galaxy's 3-on-3 tournament. So
Let's
I'm
go.
really excited about it.
that's
Let's
awesome.
go.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
fun.
wait. We're in. I'm in.
You got to get over, Tyler not being from Louisville. Some of the things we've introduced Tyler to. He loves St. X now, Mike Glazer from this. Obviously, I
Lords.
can already tell. You're gonna love Galaxy. So we got to get you out to the gym.
No, I mean, I was
This
kind of already
Saturday,
in my mind.
We're having catering.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Well,
that's right, yeah.
I'll be in Chicago for that wedding, but
Tyler's,
no,
Tyler's
I
in,
will.
Tyler's in 2 weddings this week and not one.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I'm weddinged out. I love my people, but it's been
Before
a bit
you
of a-
leave, because you're leaving Thursday, maybe go out tomorrow night to practice, because I'm telling you, dude, it's unreal. I wish
I will find time because it is something that basketball has been a huge part of my life, continues to be. I'm still very involved with Bellarmine basketball. I'm a booster for them. I hold a special place, and I think it breaks my heart to know that there are kids that don't have the ability or the opportunity to at least experience it.
Yeah.
And so I think what you're doing is really cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you after about ways that I personally can be involved, or connections I can help make that maybe help you do the things, or whatever I can do. I mean, my network is your network, and I do want to.
No, we're gonna grow. We're gonna grow this thing. We're gonna raise some money.
For sure.
We've already talked about it, so we're in it. And I mean, I'll say personally, for me, as we kind of come to a wrap here, as a person that loves coaching, but I love kids more, and I'm a girl dad. So the empowering of these girls and having this platform to perform, to feel loved, to be mentored, to have guidance, to have discipline, to have fun. I'm truly so grateful to be a part of it. So I just, as me personally, I wanted to not only thank you for coming on here today. Thank you for what you're doing for girls basketball and developmental basketball, and these girls that need something more to keep going and kudos to you. And thank you for doing it. Thank you for your commitment to it. And thanks for joining us today.
Well, and you know,
thanks for having me.
Just like we talk about all the time, we're just getting started.
Yes.
This is just the beginning.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
I can't wait.
You know, we really look forward to being a big part of helping you grow this thing. And I mean, from, you know, obviously it's yours. I'm just saying we're going to help push as much as we can.
I would
it's-
never turn down help. Like that's the thing is I'm not too proud to turn down help, and I want to see it grow. And I know I can't take it where it needs to go by myself. That's not going to be possible. So
Well, you're going to have a lot of people, you know, listening, and I think the more people learn about it, the more that it's going to grow.
and you got to come see it. Like you got to come see it. In the fall, we have our session. Look at the galaxybasketball.org. Because talking about it is one thing.
Oh, true.
Seeing
Listen.
it
Seeing
is
it's believable.
quite a
100%.
different thing.
Totally agree.
Quite a different thing.
Well, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Hey, well, that was a good session there. Like, I
Tyler
mean,
usually gets mad. I got to be honest for a second. Tyler usually gets mad, and I get the looks when we go over an hour, and that was an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So I want to say the fact that you held his attention for an hour and 40 minutes
Thanks,
says a
Tyler.
lot.
Yeah,
right?
it's not so much my attention; it's that
He's
it's
like-
just
he's like,
I
Jesse.
know they've got other people.
but
and
this
it's
is
whatever, but
this is beyond
but this
just
is-
an interview and just whatnot. Like, I mean, like, I feel passion for this, and Tyler
Yeah, same.
loves basketball.
basketball
and
changed
like
my
I said,
life,
I
so
coach.
it's just-
We coach girls.
Yeah.
I coach kids that aren't my kids as well. So it's not about your kid, and he's only got 2 boys, so he's not going to be involved in Galaxy. No. He's with us, and he loves our girls as much as anything.
I love
and,
anyone who wants to pour into kids.
Correct.
Yeah.
And basketball, that just happens to be the vehicle that I understand. Right. So
Yeah.
I don't care that it's girl. My sons are gonna be fine.
Right.
I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about the other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's great.
Well, good stuff. Well, again, thanks for coming on. And,
Coach K.
you for
All
having
right,
me.
let's
Thanks.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
The real
Here at the
Coach
closing
K.
table, not the funning table, the closing table.
closing table.
Now, thank you for joining us here. On behalf of myself, Tyler, Jesse, Coach K, Galaxy Basketball. Check it out. Let's
Check 'em
go.
out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.